very underrated fighter. He's a world-class fighter. It's a shame that I didn't get to fight him. And the reason I didn't get to fight him is because the David Haye fight was on the table. And you've got to be realistic in boxing. And listen, let's put it into perspective. Fight Marius Breidis for the defence of my title for 1/20th of the money that I was going to fight David Haye. 1/20th. So 20 times the money to fight Haye, or 1/20th of the money to fight Marius. It's ridiculous, and that's the position I was put in. I like Marius Breidis as a fighter, good, solid fighter. Don't get me wrong, it'd be a good fight, me and him. I just think he'd be too easy to outbox. And I think at times in that fight, number one, he tired massively in the second half of the fight, and he tired massively in the second half of the fight because it's the first time in his career he's not been in control going into the second half of the fight. He was in control for the first half of the fight because that's when he's used to. He basically gave Breidis, I would say, 3, possibly even 4 of the first 4 rounds. But what happened is in round 5, he turned the gear, Usyk, and Breidis couldn't keep with that pace, couldn't keep with that tempo and that momentum, and that was the difference on the night. I think he will learn massively though, Breidis, from the experience. Usyk won't stay around long. I think he'd definitely stay around to fight me at the cruiserweight division, defend all the belts against me. That's if he beats Gassiev. Don't get me wrong.
Is that who you hope to fight though?
Yes.
Out of the two?
Yes.
Okay.
I would prefer to fight Usyk.
Why?
Why? I think it's a more appealing fight. He's an Olympic gold medalist. His name is starting to get a little bit more known. I think Gassiev is still very unknown. And although I think the Super Series has been an absolutely fantastic way and a fantastic thing that's happened, the cruiserweights have kind of still gone under the radar.
Yeah.
You know, and that's basically down to because people can't pronounce the name, people don't know who they are. When you've got guys like Vladarchuk, Gassiev, Usyk, Hook, you know, Dorticos, Breidis, people don't genuinely know who these guys are. It's amazing. Let me tell you, the quality of the fighters in the cruiserweight division was far, far better than the quality of fights in the super middleweight division. No playing around here, no ifs or buts.
Get all the champions minus Denis Lebedev.
They were the best. Denis Lebedev isn't a champion. Denis Lebedev lost to Gassiev convincingly, and then they took one of the titles, but that's Russian politics for you when it comes to boxing. So, you know, I don't even rate Lebedev as a champion anymore, not at all. But saying that again, the fighters that were in that cruiserweight division, they're the elite, they're the best. In the super middleweight, when we've had to vary it a little bit, I do think Callum Smith is one of the best super middleweights in the world, and I do think he's going to win it. But there was a couple of guys in there that you go, how's he got in there? What's he doing? You know, Jürgen Bremer, I don't think should have ever been in there. What's he done at super middleweight? I just didn't think he deserved. Bryant, the guy who he beat, I didn't see why he was there. The likes of Jamie Cox, no disrespect, Jamie's a good friend of mine, but they're just not fighters who you would expect to be in the top of the division. And I can understand why, because all these fighters have promoters, and the promoters have agendas, and the agendas are not to be feeding their quality fighters to this tournament. But, you know, when it compared to cruiserweight to the super middleweight, the cruiserweight was outstanding, but still no one pays attention. You know, Chris Eubank Jr. isn't a super middleweight. What the hell? I mean, what the hell is he doing in that tournament? He was never a super middleweight, and it's shown massively against George Groves. Chris Eubank is a solid middleweight. He should never be playing around with super middleweights.
What do you make of Nassim saying that he should retire?
I think Naz has just said that off the cuff.
I think so.
Yeah, I don't think Naz really means that.
I mean, he looked pretty genuine. He was like, which camera? Which camera? I need to tell this camera.
And he also, I'm trying to think of his wife's name. What's his wife's name, Coach? Alicia, baby. That was the best. That's just absolutely fantastic.
It was.
My missus would absolutely throttle me if I got home after saying that. Rachel, baby. Yeah, she'd kill me. Naz is brilliant. I love Naz. So I can't really go against Naz. I love him. I'm a huge Naz fan when I was a kid. One thing I'll say is it was refreshing to see a fighter just tell it how it is. You know, Chris Eubank Jr. had been bowled up and hyped up, and he'd done it himself. I can't just blame his father when it comes to... I understand the need for bulling and hyping a fighter, but, you know, listen, you cannot say this man is going to beat Gennady Golovkin up and then get in a ring and get manhandled by George Groves. I'm sorry, you can't get away with that. It's unforgivable. So I don't think his career's over. I will say that. I do think Chris Eubank Jr. is a very, very good fighter, and I emphasise the word fighter. That's what he is. He's not a boxer. he's a solid inside fighter who can really, really fight. He's always going to struggle when it comes to a boxer. I've always said that from day one, I think. I don't see any way in for him middleweight. That's the hard thing. So Billy Joe beats him again, probably even more convincingly than the first time. I look for the easier option for him. I don't know. I think he's too ripped to make light middle. He's not necessarily too big for light middle, because I know light middleweight to a similar size. I think he's a similar size to Cotto, someone like that. He's not a big middleweight, so he's too big for light middle. Who's a middleweight who he could possibly dethrone? I can't think of one, because Golovkin's got all the belts. Canelo would eat him. He'd eat anyone, to be honest, besides Golovkin. He seems to be eating an awful lot of things as well as contaminated meat.
I wanted to get your take on that because I actually read your article.
Which one?
On Metro.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and I know that you said
People
the
ask
reason
me-
you didn't really want to, I guess, come out and vocalize it as much as you probably wanted to was because you felt like it didn't matter.
No one cares.
Because no one cares.
No.
My question is, do you think the outcome, in terms of being a little bit more lenient and trying to understand, okay, look, this has been a one-time thing, he has never done it before, do you think the same leniency would have been given to Golovkin?
Do you think it'd been given to me? Absolutely not. If Golovkin failed the drug test, that fight wouldn't happen. The fact of the matter is, Gennady Golovkin has nowhere else to go. He's probably going to make 3 times his whole career in this one fight. So his whole career multiplied together, he's probably going to make 3 times that in this one fight against Canelo. He's in no position to pass it up. And I feel for him, I really do, because if it was me, well, I say if it was me, I've been in a position, so if the fighter fails a drug test with a superstar you're going to face like Canelo, you just have to bite the bullet. The thing is, it's down to the commissions and the organisations. I've told you what to do, ban them for life. It's very hard with Canelo at the moment in the situation that it is. I don't know how high his levels were. I don't understand exactly how it's being clenbuterol. There's so many things I don't understand, but I've got the same stance on all drug sheets should be banned for life. Now people will go on and go, oh, you're willing to fight Tyson Fury? Well, Tyson Fury hasn't specifically failed a drug test, and also, what can I do? If he's an active fighter and he's allowed to fight, I've got to want to fight him. Simple as that. If you're asking for me, put me on a commission, put me on a panel. My thing would be fail for steroids. Officially, you've took steroids, you've injected needles, ban them for life. I don't care who they are, what they've done, ban them for life. Simple as that. So that would be my take. But will it happen? No. Doesn't matter whatever I say. No one cares what I say. The commissions aren't going to care. The boxing board isn't going to care. It's gonna. I'm telling you what's going to happen. It's going to have to be someone's going to die in the ring, and someone's going to fail a drug test, and then it will happen. Then mark my words. But why should we have to wait till someone passes away?
They say that it's a nationwide issue in Mexico.
It's a global issue, not even nationwide. It's a global. Drugs are in boxing. Simple as that. They're all over the place.
In the statement that Mauricio Solomon had put out, he said and I'm just quoting what he said, it's a nationwide issue in Mexico. Who's at fault then? Because if it's a nationwide issue and he's eating the meat where there's clearly an issue, who's at fault?
Who's at fault? The people where the meat comes from. And they're injecting cows with clenbuterol. It's not good, is it? So there's nothing. Well, there is something you can do with it. Have your meat imported from somewhere else. The money he's making on a fight, he doesn't have to eat food from Mexico. He could eat food from anywhere in the world. Things are done so differently now. But one thing I'll say about the WBC is they're very, very stringent and very good when it comes to drugs, because I've been on the WBC clean drugs program now before I won the world title. I've been on it for like 3, 4, 5, maybe even 5 years. I've been getting random tested off the WBC for a number of years. And they're the only governing body that deal with VADA, WADA and UCAD. So I'm under 3 different organisations. So for this fight, for a 14-week camp, I'm 8 weeks into a 14-week camp. I have been tested 3 times already, randomly that is. So one was down to the WBC and 2 are down to the boxing board. So I don't think Mr. Hayes been tested as stringently as that so far yet, but I have. And considering I'm the fat kid out of the pair of us, I don't understand why I get all the tests, but I'm happy to be tested. I believe in a clean sport. It's a sad situation that we're in. And like I say, you'll soon see the shock when someone passes away, which, you know, touch wood, it doesn't happen on while I'm involved in the business, but it at some stage it is going to happen. It's rife in the UFC. You know, you've got one of the faces of the sport failing multiple drug tests in John Jones. But I've got a bit of a different look at the UFC after some of the news I've been told over the years, how so many fighters are on it. So, you know, if this
They're on just steroids in general,
well,
or
I don't know, just
in
performance enhancing drugs.
Yeah.
So the things you hear. So listen, I could have it if it was a sport and someone said to me, right, everyone's allowed to take steroids. I've got no problem with that. I mean, I still wouldn't do it because I'm petrified of needles, and I think it's absolutely a disgusting thing to do. But if everyone's allowed to take them, that means it's a level playing field. I don't care. So if everybody's on them in the UFC, good, you know, all well and good, you go and do what you want. But what I can't have, I know in boxing that not everybody's on them. I know this for a fact because I'm not on them, and I know a number of other fighters who are on them, and other fighters who are at world level, and it's unfair, it really is, that these guys that, you know, there's so many of them that bloody hell, a kid in the amateurs failed the steroids the other day. I think Muhammad Ali is his name, one of the GB boys. He failed and he's been banned for it. Is it a year or two? 2 years he's been banned for steroids. The kid's an amateur boxer, for fuck's sake. So it's a problem. It's a real problem, and I hope it doesn't take a fatality for it to get sorted out, because I'll tell you something. If someone fails a drug test after fighting me, you've got a problem. I don't care how long it'll take me to get you, but I'm gonna get you. So, you know, just bear that in mind. And I'm no big tough guy or whatever, but someone's got a problem, they fail a drug test after they fight me.
Do you know one of the things I like about you? You're one of my favorites to follow on Twitter because you're very brutally honest about everything. I mean, politics. I mean, you really go hard on the pedos. You know, like it's
just kill them all.
I mean,
Gas them. Can't change. So why don't you? I don't even understand why we've got them on the planet. Can't change. It's like if it came out, men can't fancy women tomorrow. Then if it became illegal, then I'm sorry, lock me up. You know, that's just the way we are. Men are attracted to women, that's the way it goes, or whatever. But keep men, grown adults, touching kids, just kill them, just gas them, just do whatever.
Do you ever think that one day after boxing you'll go into politics or something?
Because I'm telling you now, the jails would be half empty because there'd be so many that I'd gas and hang, and then after the jails, I would then target things. There'd be so many things I could change and adjust in this country. The tax system's an absolute robbery. I've just been absolutely raped by
I heard
the
you
tax.
guys pay 50% here.
It can be even more if you want to withdraw your money from a company. It can be up to 53.
Oh God.
So they want to take more than they get you. It's unbelievable. But you know, listen, I've done all right. I'm advised pretty well, so I've invested mine. So my kids are going to be sound. So I don't really care about. I don't live a flashy life. I've never been on a yacht in my life. I have never been to Miami yet. So I think
You're missing out there.
I am, yeah. I just
Kel's there right now. You see how he got his tan on?
He gets a good tan. Being half black does help. When I go away, I get a nice tan. I end up a really nice colour. So at this moment, I'm like a caramel yellowy colour. So it's not very good.
We're about the same colour.
Yeah, it's like a yellowy colour, but it's not good, is it? You know what I mean? It doesn't look nice. It's not a proper tan. I go really nice and dark when I go on holiday. So that's thanks to me, Mum. Thanks, Mum.
One of the things I definitely want to ask you about right now is Andre Ward.
Brilliant fighter, yes.
Is he not retired and he's just telling everybody he is? Is he secretly planning a comeback?
I know he's in the gym, and I know he does sparring, so I can't speak on his behalf. All I can say is that there has been conversations between a couple of his firm and mine, but I respect them massively. So.
Do you know what I think is awesome?
What?
Creed 2's coming out, right?
Yeah.
There's that storyline, Creed 2, and then they promote it along with your fight with him later in the year. How about that?
I don't know. We'll see.
It'd be a good storyline, though, wouldn't it be?
It would be. We've had a face to face.
The real life thing.
And we've stood up close, and wait there. Did I push him or did he push me? No, he pushed me and I chinned him. I'm trying to think of the part of the movie. We took a whole day to shoot that. He's a really nice lad. I've got a lot of respect for Dre. He's a brilliant fighter, world class, an elite level operator. I'd love to face him. I'd love the opportunity to. I know Virgil and Dre are quite happy to face me and want to do it, but we'll see. I don't know. You know, I've got a mammoth task to get to on May the 5th. Once again, all the odds are stacked against me. I'm the guy who's supposed to get knocked out clean again in a couple of rounds, so I've got to try and just get through May the 5th in one piece, and then maybe after that I can sit down with Dre and Virgil and Eddie and we can drum a deal up. But I don't know. For now, all I'm focusing on is David Haye. He's the most dangerous fighter in the world to me, and I've just got to focus solely on Channel Tunnel on him.
Just out of curiosity, though, do you think you could stop Ward?
Stop him? That's a big statement. I think I can beat him. I don't know about stop it. All depends. It depends on how he wants to approach the fight. That's what it massively depends. If he tries to come in and rough me up, he's going to get knocked out. But if he wants a boxing match, I could do that too. So someone with my size and reach advantages, and someone who can match him at his own game on the inside, which I can definitely do, would be I think it would make for a really good fight.
Yeah.
I know it's one Eddie likes. I don't know though. You know, I haven't.
Creed 2 sponsors.
I've always admired them. I've always been a big Andre Ward fan. Even I was labelling him when he went into the Super 6 series. People laughed at me, because I said he'd win it, and people laughed at me when he first went in. This was before that sparred. I was Carl Fletcher's main sparring partner for the Andre Ward fight. But people laughed at me when they said, and my friends going, "Who is he?" And I said, "Trust me, this kid. I'd watched him in the Olympics. I think it was against Makarenko, the Russian who he beat. It was an absolutely outstanding amateur who he beat. I'm not sure if it was in the Olympics or the Worlds. Some way he beat him anyway. And this Makarenko hadn't been beat for years, and he went in and done him. He was on my radar since then. And he's just a really good fighter. Very good at what he does. He's an old school new age fighter, so he does all the great things that the old school fighters do, but he mixes it up because he's a great athlete. He's a better athlete than the old school fighters. So I've always referred to him as the new age Bernard Hopkins. That's exactly what he is, but a better athlete.
Yeah.
He's more dexterity, more movement, technically even better than Bernard Hopkins, but he's just brilliant at what he does. Big fan. I'd love to fight him.
Well, I'd love to see that too.
Sure
That'd be great. Lastly, I want to ask you about Tyson Fury. What do you make of his weight loss? Have you seen his weight? Yeah, looks great, right?
Yeah, he looks absolutely fantastic. Tyson's a good guy. I've known Tyson a long time. I'm really happy to see he's got his life back on track. He's got a young family that he needs to provide for and give them a great life, and he's getting himself in shape to do that. So good on him. I'm happy to see him back. Boxing is better with Tyson Fury. It's a better sport. It makes everybody sit up and take notice of the heavyweight division, whether you like his tactics, whether you like his nonsense behaviour or not. He's good for professional boxing. 100%. So I'm made up to see him back. And I'd love to be his first opponent back if he fancies it.
Okay, so if you had to choose, right, between Tyson Fury, Andre Ward, or Usyk or Gassiev, depending on who wins, who would you choose for that next fight?
So I'll beat David on May the 5th. That's a big decision. So what do I go for? Do I go for glory? Do I go for money? Or do I just go for the pound for pound king? I've just got to get on May the 6th first. That's all I can do. I really don't know. You're best asking me in the post-fight presser on May the 5th. So it'll probably be after midnight. Ask me.
I'm just going to get up and be like...
Yeah, you told me to ask you. Yeah. Don't forget, ask me on May the 6th. So I'm sure this fight will be over after midnight. So it will be May the 6th. Fingers crossed. I'm safe. We're both out the ring and we're both good. No one goes to hospital. And then I will... I'm sure by the time I've gone from the ring to that bleeding presser, I'll have it in my mind who I want to face, because I always do. I always plan. Well, I can't say a plan. I always have a thought in my mind. So it was like when I went to the ring against BJ Flores, the plan was to go David Haye. In my mind, there was no one else knew I was going to do it, but in my mind, but ultimately, I've got to beat BJ Flores first. But in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, I'm going to go.
I'm going to beeline for you.
Yeah, I've got a beeline for. I can see you, and then once I've seen him leave his sky position and go to that neutral corner. That was the end of it. I've made the fight there and then for myself, so I'll have something in my mind on May the 6th, but ultimately I've got to get through May the 5th first, and then we'll see. But either way, I don't know. I'm thinking, I don't want to. Who would you like to see me face?
Andre Ward.
Okay.
Boom.
You want to see me get licked? He's good. He's very good.
No, do you know why? Just because of the storyline in itself is just, it would be so exciting just to see it in real life. But don't get me wrong, I'm not going to lie. Between you and Tyson Fury, so we're talking about gold online with the two of
TV
you.
gold.
I mean, just you two just going back at it. And it'll be all fun, but...
Of course it will be all fun until we start swinging punches. But he's very good at what he does. I think he's someone I could really wind up.
Yeah.
He's someone I could get to bite. And he'll laugh at that when he sees this, but I could outwit Tyson. The Batman suits wouldn't faze me. He turns up as Batman, I'll turn up as Superman.
Yeah.
We all know we won that fight, lad, don't we? You know, I enjoyed the laughs and jokes that sometimes happen with boxing. I haven't been able to do it in my last few fights, but I do enjoy the kind of banter that comes between fighter and opponent. It is good to take part, and I've had it on a number of occasions. It just doesn't really happen with this plant pot.
I'm not gonna lie, I love when like the tables go flying and the chairs are
I can
thrown.
imagine
I'm
you
just
love
like,
it, because they're not going to hit you, they're going to hit one of us. So it's always great when they don't hit the reporter, but
it's great with the big guys too, because you guys are it's like, you know.
I'll be honest, I really enjoyed the Dillian White and Chisora build up. I really enjoyed that. So, but do I like taking part in them?
Well, that's a different question.
Yeah, if you don't do it right, I've learned how to deal with them because I've been in them situations a number of occasions. So, but if you don't deal with them right, you can be mentally exhausted by the time you get to the fight. So in the Cleverly rematch, when the fire came up behind me, when I was making me entrance towards the ring, I was drained. I was done. I trained so well in camp. I had a little bit of abs when I was on the stage. I looked at phenomenally aesthetically. I looked great, but then I got in the ring and I swear I just felt like I had nothing. I felt like I had nothing in the tank because I got drawn into that mental mind game, that mental minefield again. And when you don't get it right, you will pay one way or another. And I very, very nearly did pay that night. I was lucky I was able to just outman him, rough him up and bully him. But that doesn't work when you get in with some dangerous punches. It did work with him because he couldn't burst an egg. So,
at the top of your head, I'm going to ask you about a few upcoming fights. Just tell me who you think wins.
Okie doke.
Okay.
Never easy with me, is it?
So let's start with this weekend. We got Dillian White, Lucas Brown.
It's a hard fight, you know. I hope Dylan wins. I think he's winning till about round 9, and I think Lucas Brown might outlast him. I don't know. I'm saying that because based on Dylan tires in the second half fights, he showed in the Helenius fight he can just grind out a win. But he wasn't impressive that night, which there's nothing wrong with that. I've won fights where I'm not impressive. It's actually a good thing to show you can win ugly. That is a good attribute to have. I've done that on a number of occasions over the years. Eddie hasn't always thanked me for it, still gives me stick for it now. But that's a good attribute. I just don't know if winning ugly is going to be enough against Lucas Brown. That big brute, he's not very good, he's not very pleasing on the eye, but he's strong and he's extremely durable. That's his greatest strength. Lucas Brown's greatest strength is how durable he is. I'd love to see Lucas Brown and Joe Joyce. That would just be the battle of the Terminators, because that's what they are. They're just both
even
machines.
more so than Chisora? Because I know that David Hayes is trying to make the fight with Joe Joyce and Derek
he is, isn't
Chisora.
he? He's trying to
For May 5th.
Yeah, for May 5th, yeah, with not his money. Fantastic what he's doing. Let's promote my fighters on a shared bill, and you pay all the money. It's absolutely great business by him, isn't it? Yeah, it's not happening. I'm stuck on Dillian White and Brown.
Is that what your heart says?
I hope Dylan does it, to be honest.
Okay.
I do hope he wins, but I don't like this fight once it goes past 6 or 7, and it is going past 6 or 7 because this Brown just keeps coming like big dope, but a big himself. He's not very good on the eye. I watched the gloves are off. I was pretty disappointed, to be honest. I expected a bit more. I think Dylan froze a little bit under the lights, and I think Brown just just isn't bothered. He seems like a really non-emotionally invested guy. He's not emotionally invested in the bout at all. He just looks at it as, yeah, this is a job. I'm a big strong dope. Let's do it. And Dylan's like emotionally invested in fights. You can see it, how much it means to him. So I feel for him if he doesn't come through this one. But fingers crossed he does. I just don't know if he can. We'll find out. It's definitely the second toughest test to date after Joshua. Definitely. You know, White is better than Helenius. Brown, sorry, is better than Helenius. So we'll see. What's the next one?
Billy Joe Saunders, Martin Murray.
Don't want to comment on next about my mates. No, it's not fair. I think the world of both of them. They're both my good friends. I've known Martin Murray a long time. I've boxed abroad with Martin Murray. We've had laughs, jokes, nights out a lot. I really like him. Billy Joe's another mate of mine from the GP squad, meeting him. I just think the world of both of them. I just hope they both come out safe and sound. Because let me tell you, that fight at one stage will come down to a bit of a grueling hard one. Because Martin will keep coming forward, Billy will keep dancing, giving him the tricks, giving him the puzzles to solve. And I just hope it doesn't take too much out of each other.
What do you make of Billy Joe always sort of trolling David Lemieux and several other...
Why not? You know, he's done him, and he's done a great job.
It's a good laugh, right?
He's brilliant. Billy Joe's fantastic. Can't knock Billy Joe, he's hilarious. I can't say I think much of the other gobshite, but in the gym, I forget his name. What's his name? He keeps saying some outrageous things on social media.
Oh, the Booth.
I don't know, I've never met him, but I think it's bad lad what he said.
Did you see what he was saying about me? He made a video about me.
Did he?
Yeah, he made it about me and a few other
I've
girls.
never watched him.
Well, I only knew because they tagged me.
Yeah, someone sent me a screenshot of what he'd said or something, but a very strange cat, but I don't know. Leave him to it, you know. Listen, you can get attention in many ways, but it's just sad, innit, that they would want it.
You have to take the piss out of other people.
I know,
just to
I
get...
never understand why people would just insult other people for no reason at all. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Just insult people for no reason. It's just nasty, it's wrong, but it shows up that unconfidence in your own inadequacies in yourself, why you'd want to do that to others. Like, I ain't never met a troll. Well, I think they're called trolls, aren't they? I've never met someone who'd slag me online, do it to my face. Now, like I say, I'm not claiming I'm a big tough guy, but if you're going to have opinions to say something, then at least do it under your real name aliases. You know, well, I can't slate this kid for doing that because he's doing it and that's his name and he's saying what he's saying, so fair play to him. But ultimately, why are you doing it?
Why?
Just why, you know?
Do you know I'm confronting him tomorrow?
Who is?
That guy.
Are you really?
Did the video.
Good on you.
Yeah.
Good on you. I mean,
confronting him. I just want to ask him. I just kind of want to get, understand the psychology of where all this is coming from.
Yeah,
like, why?
Just what exactly? That's all I'd like to know. Why? Because he'll do it to the wrong person. I mean, he will do it to the wrong person.
I mean, look what he said about Ricky Hatton's mom.
I haven't seen that. What did he say?
He was. You got to go to this guy's Twitter. He said something about like just completely slagging off his mom. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's just some serious low blows in the video that he did of me.
That's a bit low. That's wrong. I mean, it's wrong to insult women anyway. Full stop. And listen, there's a lot of women out there who deserve to be insulted. Some of the things I see them do, disgusting things over the years. But insulting someone's mum,
he was just basically insulting and belittling the women who are our boxing presenters.
Okay.
And said that we're basically just there for sexual needs and desires, which is...
Why, what you get out of interviewing
you know what I'm saying?
boxers?
I mean, I have no idea where this analogy comes from, but
crazy.
He's off his rocker, most definitely.
Oh, well, leave him to it. As long as it doesn't involve me in it, then we're sound.
Yeah.
Saying he's got an headache. An headache that won't leave. I promise you that much.
He went after Frotch and his missus in that same video.
Someone sent me a screenshot of that comment, and I'll be honest, mate.
If I was him, I'd be avoiding Frotch forever.
Oh, listen, you don't avoid people, you go looking for them once your missus or gets brought up or something like that. So, that isn't a good thing. That's completely wrong. I seen the comment that someone screenshotted it and sent it to me, and I felt really bad. Carl's a friend of mine, but mate, I'm very fortunate. I've been my missus for 16 years. I've been with her since I was that little fat kid on the door, or long before then. So I understand where I found mine, mate. But I would. I can't.
Yeah.
I just end up getting locked up. but he would end up in a bad
Just
way.
don't cross those lines.
You can't, it's
Yeah.
just it's too much. It's too much to even insult people. Never even mind bringing people's personal life and the family and things. That's the mother of Carl's kids. Mate,
Exactly.
he won't let that go. I know Frotchy. Frotchy's a mate of mine.
Fretchy? Oh, we
won't
want to
let
call him
that
that
go.
next time. Hey, Fretchy.
He's a good lad. Lovely lad.
The next one.
Okay.
Amir Khan's making his return. Phil
Yes.
Greco.
Yeah, he got mouthy, didn't he? He said a few words. Don't get me wrong. I'm not approving what he said because it's wrong. But Amir had that coming. You know, you put your life out there on social media,
Somebody's gonna say something.
it's gonna happen, mate. Someone's gonna say it, and he, you know, it's not right what he said. It's wrong. I don't condone it. Any way, shape, or form. Shouldn't be bringing people's misses up. But mate, when you put your personal life on social media, you've got it coming. So, you know, Amir will make him pay for that. Believe me, this Greco ain't felt what Amir. I've worked with a lot of fighters over the years. I've been on a lot of squads, a lot of camps. I've seen a lot of fast fighters, and I mean really fast fighters. Amir Khan is the quickest fighter I've ever seen in my life up close, ever. And I've seen some brilliant fighters up close.
Yeah.
Don't forget, I've studied this sport my whole life.
Yeah.
I ain't never seen anyone as fast as Amir Khan. I remember we were on a squad. We were preparing for England v USA. And Amir had just come back from the Athens Olympics, and it was his first fight back after the Athens Olympics. We fought in the Liverpool Olympia, England v USA, and I'm telling you now, this kid could rattle off easy 10 punches in a second, and it was like, and he still had more in the tank. He could throw even more. He's rapid. He's explosive.
See that
he's
video?
Quick, mate. He's quick.
Yeah.
Believe me, he's rapid. He's unbelievably fast. And this Greco will have never seen speed like it. Don't get me wrong. I'm a firm believer. Timing does beat speed, but you have to at least have some speed. I mean, I
Yeah.
ain't seen much of Greco, but I know he ain't beating anyone at this level.
Yeah.
No one at all at this level. So we'll see. What he's got to do is he's got to back up them boasts, because soon, what I love about boxing is the talking will come to an end. It will stop, and the bell does go now. People in the past have thought that that's the part, and all I can do is talk. I actually enjoy it the most when the bell stops, when the bell starts, and the fighting starts, because that's the best part. But that Greco's got a lot to answer for, laddies. Good luck, mate, because you are playing with fire.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, you are about to get burned, son. Burned very bad and very quickly. I think Amir will be on point. When Amir's got his back against the wall and a point to prove, in a division that suits him, he's a really good fighter, solid fighter.
Canelo Triple G. A lot of people felt that Golovkin won the first time.
I think it was a very close fight. I think Triple G's counter-punching was very underrated.
But do you think it warrants the draw, or do you think
No,
that...
I don't think it warrants the draw. I still think Triple G won slightly, but I think it was a brilliant fight. I think Triple G showed that he's got to be a little less one-dimensional. He can't just walk Canelo down. Canelo's counter-punching is outstanding, and also the fact that he never looked hurt once. Canelo's a good fighter, man. He's a very, very good fighter. But it pisses me off that he's failed the drug test. It really does, because he's an exceptional fighter. Pound for pound, one of the best in the world. He really is. People have got to understand I'd say he's probably the best active counter-punch. He is, without doubt, the best active counter-puncher in boxing today. His counter-punching is phenomenal. He's possibly the best body puncher in boxing as well. I'm trying to think of a better body puncher than him. It's hard. It's a really hard one to think of someone better who goes to the body than Canelo. He's so slick, so powerful, explosive. He just looks phenomenal. I mean, like I say, I don't like this steroid thing that's come out, because his physique has 100% changed from the Canelo at welterweight to the Canelo middleweight. I mean, he's physically more advanced and better than Triple G. I'm not saying Triple G never gets on the scales and is full of muscles, but listen, you don't go from 10 stone 7 to 11 stone 6 and all the muscles are popping out your body. It doesn't sit well with me. But you know, we'll see. I just hope the best man wins, and we'll see on the night. But it just sits bad with me. Like, failing drug test and fight still going on. Shows that lessons aren't going to be learnt. Punishment should be harsh, man. But like I said, I don't know how much meat would you have to eat. You probably have to eat a cow that had been spiked with clenbuterol. I don't know. I'm speaking in things that I'm not unsure of. So I don't know how much you'd have to take, how much you'd have to eat or whatever to fail. But he has and it has to be addressed. It has to be addressed appropriately by the boxing boards.
And the last one,
Okay.
Lomachenko,
Yes.
Linares. Fire that fight.
Fantastic fight, but and I'm a massive Jorge Linares fan. He's a bit of a friend of mine. I like him. Get on great with him. I don't think it ends well for him, that fight.
No.
No, I don't like that fight for him. If I was looking after Jorge Linares, I wouldn't choose that fight for him. It's a bad fight, but I'm sure it's a big paying fight, so well done to him. He's shown that he's the second best in the world. I rate Lomachenko's pound for pound number one, so I can't see past him. I think he's the perfect boxer in offense and defense. His footwork's outstanding. Powered neither hand. He's the ultimate package. He's the best I've seen since a prime Roy Jones. That's how good he is. It's just, if Floyd Mayweather had the offense of Vasily Lomachenko, he'd have gone down as the greatest fighter of all time, in my opinion. But like I say, I haven't seen anyone with offense and defense as good as a Roy Jones Jr. since Roy Jones Jr. Lomachenko is phenomenal. I don't understand how you beat him. I understood how Salido beat him purely down to experience, and that's why you can't rush into professional boxing. No matter how good of an amateur, you're talking about the greatest amateur of all time in Vasily Lomachenko, and he lost purely because he didn't have the experience on the night. That's the only reason he lost to Orlando Salido. Just purely down to experience. Nothing to do with the skills, just experience of being able to do a scheduled 12 rounder, being able to manage your way through it, navigate your way through it. That takes time to learn, and that takes, you need to be prepared, go through camps and whatever, sparring. Even with that, you could do 20 rounds in the gym. It's not going to be the same as on fight night. Everything changes with 10-ounce gloves on or 8-ounce gloves on. Under the light, it's completely different, and we've seen that the night he faced Orlando Salido was just a step too much too soon. 2 fights more, he would have defeated Orlando Salido easy. If he fights Orlando Salido now, he probably wipes the floor with him in about 6 rounds. But just at that stage, he's not ready, he's not accomplished enough, and he's not ring savvy enough. So I just hope Jorge Linares is well reimbursed for that fight, which I'm sure he will. Bob Adams a good payer. He hasn't paid me yet though.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I mean,
Pleasure.
honestly, it's such a pleasure to be able to
thank
be
you.
here at the Colwell Gym. I've never been here. Never been to this
He's
part
got
of
a
England,
great
period.
gym. He's got a fantastic gym, and then
Yeah.
overnight the youngsters come in with Richard Towers. He gives back to the community and helps out the young kids, so it's fantastic. Dave tears the hoop out of me and the 3 midgets in here as well. Sorry, 3 midgets and Fowler about 4 or 5 times a week, and then Richard comes in and teaches the kids great values and what boxing can instill, and I take me out of him for that. He's better than I could, because I couldn't. I can't just about deal with the 3 in my house. How Richard comes in here day
God
after
bless
day,
you.
night after night. He deserves a medal, because I'm telling you now, I see how many kids coming in. He has the right number. It's not for me, that. It's not for me.
All right. Well, I look forward to. I'll be there for your fight.
Oh,
So I
thank
look
you.
forward
Okay.
to being there.
Yep.
When I stand up post fight and go,
Oh, hopefully.
You don't know what
'cause
I'm
you never
asking.
know. Hopefully, we never know. This is a
yeah,
fight.
but
And I'm the underdog, for remember, so I might not be in the post-fight room talking gibberish and talking what I'm going to do, this and that. I might be the one who's lost. You never know. You've got to be realistic. Now, when you interview
yeah,
him,
but if you lose, does that mean you retire, or does
No,
that mean you?
no.
Okay. Well, that question's still valid then.
Is it though? Yeah, but the thing is, I'm no longer relevant when you
No,
lose.
yeah, you will.
Trust me,
Yeah, you will.
I've been on the losing side. I've been on the win side.
I can tell you right now,
Yeah.
the 3 guys that we listed we would still like to see you face them,
I'm
right?
not sure. You're only relevant when you're winning. Trust me, Michelle. In this game, you're only relevant when you're winning. I've been there. Bloody hell, I was irrelevant when after I'd won. I beat Nathan Cleverly too, and no one wanted to touch me.
But if
'cause
you
the
were,
fight weren't
if
good.
you put up a good fight, it's
Yeah.
not always you
one
losing,
thing I
it's
can
how you
guarantee,
lose.
I'm going to
too.
put up a good fight.
Yeah.
I'm going to put up a good fight, and I'm going to win. But you've got to be realistic. When you're fighting world-class opposition at this level, on any given night, anyone can lose. There's never going to be a fighter who goes to a career when he gets in 50-50s consistently and he just keeps winning them all. That doesn't happen. I mean, I've been in about... Well, I've had the odds against me. I'm being in 50-50s, I would say, about half a dozen times in my career, maybe a little bit more. I've lost one of them to Donald Stevenson. I was the underdog in that. The underdog, the Cleverly 2 fights, he was the favourite in both. The Hay fight, he's the favourite. Makabu, he's the favourite. Masternak, he was the favourite. So I've overcome the odds a few times. But you've got to give and take in these things. But forget what I've just said. May the 5th, I'm going to win. And I'm going to look good winning. And it's going to be enjoyable. And I'm going to wave David off and say thank you very much. You've got me another new watch.
You got a watch collection?
I've got one nice one. I'm looking to add to it on May the 6th.
There you go. I need a pair, right?
Yes.
I need to make it a pair.
That's the one.
All right. Well, thanks so much for your time, Tony. I appreciate you.
Pleasure, no problem.
Bye, fight fans.
Hey Fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps. If you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you do so by clicking this icon right here, or else